Is there something moving over there? Or am I seeing ghosts? Nothing would surprise me anymore. Even more menhirs. Must be a nest somewhere around here. They're positioned exactly like the menhirs in the river. That's one hell of a stone. I wonder if an entrance to one of the demon gates is underneath it. I wonder if an entrance to one of the demon... There's a crevice under the rock. Could be a rabbit burrow. Pretty deep, this hole. Whoa! What a shock. Wait a minute. Where did those bats come from? Must be a huge rabbit burrow. Or a huge cave with a portal. And in this case, it's only a tiny rock that's in my way. I should be able to manage it. But how? There's a cave under the stone. Judging by the number of bats that live there, it must be a really big one. I've somehow got to move this stone to get down there. Always wanted to do this. The stone's harder than I thought. I've drilled more than 24 holes now. It just doesn't want to break. And I've got no fuel left. And it's gotten damn cold. Two dozen holes. All of them about half a meter deep. 24 holes. There'll be a heavy frost tonight and the water will freeze. It expands, and in theory, the rock should crack. At least that's what it should do if my physics course wasn't just a waste of time. Stop. I still need something to plug the holes. Otherwise, I'll just have icicles stuck in the holes, and the stone will still be in one piece. Perfect. The construction foam hardens when it comes into contact with moisture, and then it's quite strong. That should stop the ice from coming out of the holes. Now I've just got to wait until morning. The holes are sealed, and when the water freezes and expands, it'll crack the stone. However, the whole process will probably take the whole night. I should take a rest. What's Bobby doing here? He looks very sad. Bobby? Hey, Bobby, what's up?
Tom hit me and threw me out. I don't know why.
Doesn't he do that all the time?
Not beating me.
So, why don't you go to the cops?
I've been there already. The inspector sent me away. He doesn't want to hear about it, he said. Denise sent me away too. She said I shouldn't complain. And now everyone's sitting in the pub and won't let me in.
Should I give you some money so you can stay in the hotel?
No, I don't want any more money. Tom always takes everything away.
You could stay with me in the castle.
That's very nice, Darren, but I don't like the castle. I don't want to die.
Should I talk to Tom?
That's not a good idea. He wants to kill you.
But you said the inspector is in the pub.
Yes.
I'm sure he's not stupid enough to kill me in front of his eyes. Anyway, the guy's due for a beating. I can't stand by idly anymore. Look, I'll sort this out for you.
Let's hope the inspector really is there. Otherwise, this'll be Tom's last night.
Tom, calm down.
You shut your mouth. I want to know where the hell you got that necklace from.
Why should I tell you that?
That's I lent that to a friend as a deposit. It wasn't to be given away as a present. Damn it.
Friend? Since when has Bobby been your friend?
What's Bobby got to do with it, huh? What are you on about?
Keep your fingers off Denise, or you'll be in the slammer before you know it.
You stay out of this, you village Bobby.
Watch what you say, boy. I can...
What did you say about Bobby? What's he got to do with the necklace?
He gave it to me, just before, for my birthday.
What? That can't be. I'm gonna kill that idiot.
If someone's doing some murdering around here...
Then that'll be me.
What the hell is that brat doing here?
Listen to me carefully now, you stinking, brainless waste of space. If you ever touch so much as a hair on Bobby's head again, you'll wish you'd never been born. Do you understand?
Oh, your lordship commands. Just you wait. Hey, Cole, get the handcuffs out. This guy killed Phil.
That's enough now. You're completely drunk.
I thought your brother was the stupidest of the two, because you're not just his brother, you're his father too. But now I'm sure it must be the other way around.
Angelina. She was really evil from the very start. Those black eyes, like a demon, a witch.
I think your subconscious is processing your relationship with her.
No, that's not my subconscious. I'm remembering this encounter. Her face.
What kind of mirror was that? And where was it?
The crevice, remember? I climbed in there to help Angelina. There was a large room down there, and this mirror was in it.
Perhaps it was a cave with an underground river, and the reflection in it was simply distorted.
No, I'm sorry, Doc. A few days ago, I would have believed you. But this time, I'm completely sure it's not just my imagination or some kind of trick by my subconscious. It really did happen.
Excuse me for a moment. Dr. Winterbottom? Yes, he's still here. Can we... Yes, fine. I'll tell him.
Hello, this is Big Shot Spooner. We found a corpse and want to arrest that Gordon immediately. Send him here straight away.
Almost. It was the constable. The inspector is waiting for you in the cafe. You should go there directly after the session.
In the cafe? What? Is he gonna treat me to a plate of donuts?
Why not? Adrian, it's time to make peace with the world. Why don't you start with the inspector?
It's okay, Doc. Perhaps it's all a bit too much. The ongoing investigations against me, the continuous suspicion, the visions, the castle... It's crushing me.
Because you want to do everything on your own. Let yourself be helped. By me, by the inspector, and why not by a butler? Yes, I think a butler would be just the thing for you.
You made the right decision. Has anyone ever told you that?
What decision? That a castle needs a butler?
No, that you didn't become a pathologist back then, rather than a psychologist. I mean that decision, Doc.
Oh, thanks, Adrian.
See you later, Doc.
See you later, Adrian.
Hi, Adrian.
Later. I've asked all I want to know for them.
The worthy Mr. Gordon is honoring me with a visit.
Have you taken something?
Sit down. Do you remember what happened last night?
Only up to the punch in the face. Strangely enough, I have a mental block of what happened from that point on.
Really? You stood up as if nothing had happened and just walked back to the castle. I followed you because I thought you might collapse at any moment. But nothing. You didn't even sway once. You took the knockout punch like a man. I wouldn't have expected that of you.
Thanks for the flowers, Inspector. But in reality, I didn't cope with it so well. The blackout.
Never mind. The most important thing is you can still remember what Tom said when he noticed you.
You mean I'll kill you? I'll punch you in the face?
By the way, you can report him if you want to.
Sure, and for kidnapping too. No one believes me anyway. I already said 3 weeks ago that he kept me locked up in Wales.
Until now, I assumed that these abduction stories were made up. But Tom's reaction makes me wonder a bit. But more importantly, who is this Phil, who Tom said you murdered?
Ask Tom.
I haven't been able to find him all morning.
Oh, and now you want my help.
Okay, Adrian. Perhaps I wasn't always that nice to you. Can we just forget the past for a moment?
Did I just hear an apology?
Well...
Phil's the guy who locked me up in his morgue a few days ago and wanted to kill me. I knocked him out from behind and took off, but I know he was still alive at that point.
That means the corpse is still lying there. Where was this?
In a house in the woods. I think it used to belong to a Dr. Heinz Herman.
That sounds familiar.
Listen, Inspector, how about I just take you over there?
After you.
Here we are.
The door's closed, and we can't go in there without a search warrant.
I think that only applies to you, right?
Let me put it like this. If you were to enter this house without permission, I would have to make sure that you don't take anything.
Ah, I get it. Wrong key. Hey, Inspector! The door's wide open.
Well, who'd have guessed? His lordship has a key. I'll have to take that as evidence. Sorry.
You'll probably be interested in the torture videos, too.
Torture videos?
Yeah, Phil's got a whole secret compartment full. They're gone.
Perhaps your corpse was bored.
Wait a minute, there must be one still in the video recorder.
Turn that off. That's sick. Where's the guy who filmed this?
I guess it was Phil, but you don't see him, though.
I'll take that tape as evidence. Okay, and where's the corpse?
The corpse has disappeared, too?
This is starting to get quite implausible, don't you think?
Tom must have been here. He tried to cover his tracks. That's why the other videos are gone, too.
Tom? Or you?
I've got nothing to do with it. I'll prove it. Hey, Inspector, you might be interested in this. It's not Phil's corpse, but perhaps you'll believe me now?
It must be dead at least a couple of weeks.
And a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting quietly in the cell.
Okay, Phil really does have something to answer for. And it would seem he's good at his profession. Otherwise, I'd have heard of him ages ago.
I bet Tom's got something to do with this, too.
First, we'll go back to the station. I'll send Zach over here to pick up the body.
I've got something else I need to do.
You're coming with me first. I need to record your statement. Oh! Stay where you are! Tom!
So now I've got time to have a look at the stone circle, then. A ladder. It's a roll of damp-proof sheeting used in construction. The craftsmen should really cover the floor with it so they don't make everything filthy. I guess that's no big deal while the place is looking like it is. That looks very promising. Some steps? I wasn't expecting such luxury. I wonder what's waiting for me down there. Amazing. Yep, that's got it. Tree roots, so I must be directly under the surface of the ground. They're not gonna help me. I wonder if this cave was formed naturally, or if someone or something gave a helping hand. About 4 meters wide and... oh, it's not that deep at all. A few 100 meters maybe. There are fluorescent things hanging everywhere. They look like huge glowworms, but they're not moving. The pit's way too wide to jump across. Are those some kind of writing symbols on the wall? None of it means anything to me, I'm afraid. Some kind of thing. Difficult to know exactly what it is from here. If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly the same kind of portal as there is in the academy. Was, before it was filled in. There is one huge, untraversable chasm between me and the portal. The ladder would make a decent bridge over the pit. I'll try it. So what have we got here then? An ancient comic? It looks like a kind of picture-based script. Let's see if I can work any of it out. Some guy carrying a black ball. He's wearing a long robe. Or a dress. Could be some holy character. Or a priest. Then he lies down with the black ball and some other guys wearing dresses stand around him. Weird. And here they're taking the guy with the ball's head off? Wait, could it be some kind of burial ritual? Or an execution? I could do with a copy of this somehow, so somebody can take a look and maybe tell me what these symbols mean. I'll take a quick photo. Maybe I'll find someone who knows about hieroglyphics. I've got myself a copy of the hieroglyphics now. Now I only have to find out what they mean. I've seen one of these before, in the academy. Angelina placed a black ball in it, and then the portal opened. I think she'd stolen it from the museum, but now she's dead, and she had the ball with her when my mother threw her to her death. Opening mechanism for the portal. I'm not gonna get any further here without a black ball. An inactive portal, just like the one in the academy. Angelina was able to open it using a weird black ball thing. Speaking as a physicist, I have to ask myself, how the hell does that thing actually work? This here is one massive rock. You'd have to liquefy it to be able to go through there. I could go and take a bath in a volcano too. Oh, awesome. You can see right down into the pit through the ladder rungs. That makes climbing over it a real treat. Inspector Spooner.
Little Lord Adrian, what can the village Bobby do for you?
Are you trying to suck up to me, or are you pulling my leg?
You choose.
Have you arrested Tom?
He vanished into the woods. We've started a search.
By the way, the necklace that Tom got so wound up about, did you ever consider that it might be stolen? From an old people's home, for example?
From an old people's home in Ipswich?
Just an idea. Have you seen anything like this before?
Something similar. In the cells on the wall.
This black ball that was stolen from the museum.
You want to give it back? That'd be very nice, of course.
So it hasn't turned up again?
No.
Goodbye.
Fare thee well, my lord.
Edward,
Sir?
all on your own today?
Denise is ill.
But wasn't she here this morning?
Yes. She went down with a virus all of a sudden.
Might that be the, Conrad Spooner virus?
I think it's got plenty of names. Whatever the case, it doesn't just make you unfit for work. It makes you unfit for marriage, too.
I'm very sorry, Edward.
Well, anyway, it's not infectious.
The last time you were in the museum, did you ever look at that black ball?
Yes. Apparently, it was the only thing of any value in there. That's why it got stolen. However, I still ask myself to this day what it was supposed to be exactly. It was too dark for a kind of crystal ball like fortune tellers use. What's your opinion?
Well, it certainly wasn't a bowling ball. You're interested in ancient history?
Quite true, sir. You could say it's a hobby of mine. I've been collecting ancient coins from different cultures for years now. You build up quite a substantial knowledge doing that, you know.
Fantastic. Could you take a look at this and tell me what you make of it?
Oh, yes. I've seen this script before somewhere. It's druidic. Very old.
Can you read it?
Reading might be an exaggeration. It's more a kind of pictorial story. I think it's a description of a burial ritual. Yes, that could well be the case. Here, the dead person seems to be some kind of ecclesiastical person, a priest, if you will. You can see that by the crooked staff. That symbol was often used for spiritual leaders.
And he has a black ball in his hand. Are you saying that it could be like one of those that was in the museum?
Oh, you could even be right there. If that's the case, then I'm not at all surprised it was stolen. It would be worth a fortune.
Might it be possible that there are more of them?
I wouldn't exclude that possibility. If it's some kind of a burial gift for priests, then there could be a chance you'd find one under a burial mound.
You mentioned a burial mound. Is there one around here?
Oh, yes, sir. There are supposed to be one or two around here. At least they discovered some a few years ago. It was even in the paper. Ah, now I remember where I recognize the hieroglyphics from. There was a photograph of the tomb in the paper, along with the research team. These kinds of hieroglyphics were engraved in the rocks.
A research team? Damn. I bet they cleared out the tomb completely.
You would think so, but you could...
I could what?
Excuse my tactlessness, sir. Miss Valley, she was involved with the excavation. A group of archaeology students were here in this area looking for pagan relics, and they discovered a burial mound quite by chance. It was quite an exciting event.
And, who else was involved in this enterprise?
Nobody I knew, I regret to say, sir.
Thanks anyway, Edward. You've helped me a lot.
Sir, would you happen to have a moment's time?
Yeah?
It's rather unpleasant for me to mention this so brashly, but Dr. Winterbottom said I ought to do it. Now, as master of Black Mirror Castle, would you happen to have any staff requirements? I would be most pleased to be able to work for you, sir.
Huh? What's gonna happen to the cafe if you're no longer here?
Oh, don't worry about that. Denise's father already has a new business idea, and I don't believe I'm the right sort of chap for it.
Is that so? Isn't the cafe doing so well? What could do better here in Willow Creek, then?
An undertaking business. Funerals, sir.
Huh. Of course. I should have thought of that myself. But I really don't know if I can actually use a butler. I need construction guys or a demolition company more urgently.
It is precisely a butler's job to look after such things.
Maybe you're right. Well then, why not come up to the castle tomorrow sometime? Then we can give it some more thought.
Thank you very much, sir.
Take care, Edward.
I'll do my best, sir.
Inspector Spooner.
What then?
There are supposed to be burial mounds in this area. Do you happen to know where any of them are?
You've just inherited a castle. Now you want to move again?
Couldn't you give me just one decent answer, please?
Ah, well. If it means so much, yeah. No, I don't know where you might find a burial mound.
Might you possibly be able to give me a tiny bit of information?
Really? I can't wait.
You searched Miss Valley's house, didn't you? Did you come across any kind of archaeological notes or drawings while you were at it?
Zach?
Hmm?
Shouldn't you been off on the beat long ago? You know, Adrian, I get the feeling that our, let's call it a relationship, has got rather bogged down of late. You're constantly coming to me with some new request. It's always me who's supposed to give you something. I'm thinking it's time we changed all that.
Would you like to come with me to see Doc Winterbottom? Do some couple therapy?
Nice idea, but I've got something else planned. As you perhaps already noticed, I sometimes tend towards making quite hasty judgments. That's one of the reasons they redeployed me here to Willow Creek. I'd actually imagine my life as a police inspector somewhat differently.
Pursuits, shootouts, explosions.
You're looking into my very soul. But without some clear evidential success under my belt, I'm not going to be getting out of this dump all that quickly. And what with your circumstances having sadly changed somewhat.
What's supposed to have changed there? I'm innocent now, just like I always was.
But now your nobility, as you have so strikingly noticed. And here in good old England, that is a good reason to treat things with more of a feather-light touch. Or to put it another way, an error in such a case would definitely not be good for my career.
Have I got this right? You're crapping yourself because I own a castle now.
Perhaps it's still not too late to forget the whole thing and close the case. But to do that, I have to present the judge with something meaningful.
Is that a polite request for a confession? Are you kidding me?
No, you misunderstood me. The thing with Tom and that Phil is already a good start. Also, Murray has corrected his statement and given you an alibi for the Miss Valley murder. Seems to like you a lot, that bloke. But there's still this Lewis and Angelina woman. They're officially missing. But someone who's missing also can be a perpetrator. You do see that?
We're speaking the same language at last. What's happening with Miss Valley's house now? Have you found anything there?
We only found some photos of you, and we also took a few other things relevant to the case. If you think you can find something there that might bring this case to a close, then I'll let you have a look around the house.
Are we partners then?
Not the expression I'd use. Hey, but this conversation never took place, okay? Zach will go with you, and I want to be informed about everything.
Of course, Inspector. Goodbye.
Fare thee well, my lord.
Can I ask you something briefly? I found a bear trap in the woods. Are those kind of traps even allowed?
I know there are hunters out and about all year round, but I'm sure they don't use bear traps.
There aren't any bears in England.
What are the traps for then? And who set them?
Maybe the bears have laid some to catch the hunters.
You've got a logical explanation for everything, haven't you? The most important thing for you is that you don't have to waste any time having a proper look at things.
That's what it looks like.
The inspector said that it wouldn't be a problem if I wanted to have a look at Miss Valley's house for myself, but that you should come along to keep an eye on me.
If that's what he said, I'll go and get the keys. Have fun with the search. Just tell me when you want to go.
Miss Valley's brother, Vic. She has quite a lot of pictures of him, but that's no surprise. She was pretty obsessed with his death, and particularly with his murderer, Samuel Gordon, my father. She must have really loved her brother. A wooden rocking chair. The backrest doesn't look particularly comfortable. Crockery with folkloric designs. Experts like me call them painted plates. I think they just don't have oil or gas in Willow Creek yet. An empty notepad.
What are you doing there?
I just wanted to take a piece of paper, to take some, notes. Newspaper clippings about Vic's murder. I can't imagine how anyone could murder a child so brutally.
What are you up to?
Maybe there's a secret trapdoor under the rug.
What a load of nonsense.
Anything against me taking a piece of coal?
I don't think anybody would have anything against that. stay down here, please.
What? Why? Maybe there's something worth looking at up there.
Miss Valley kept all of her papers down here. We've searched through everything upstairs and found nothing except a couple of photos of her brother Vic.
All right. Old newspapers and a book with English children's songs. That's no use to me. Seems Miss Valley wasn't just scared of the Gordons. Now this could be interesting. Miss Valley's book collection. Let's take a look. English history and stories, Camelot and the Holy Grail. From William the Conqueror to Magna Carta. Aha, a folder from a university. Constable, can I take a look at this folder here?
That's just books about science and the like.
Was that a yes?
Okay by me, but don't take too long.
No black ball. If I'm lucky, then nobody else will have found it either. Now all I have to do is find out exactly where this burial mound is. There has to be a few significant words in these research papers from which I can work out the exact location. I think 3 words will do it. Sector I-3 is definitely useful to me. Now I've got something I can work with. Sector I-3 in the marsh. I've been round there already when I was looking for the portals. And there's a place where there are lots of small animal bones. I must be able to find that.